Hello, hello. Oh, you're not sharing your screen yet, Jennifer.
Oh, I should probably do that.
Yeah, welcome to the first dev stream for Sentinels of Earth Prime. I am John. I am here to mostly just hang out with Jennifer as she creates some environment background art for Farside City. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, John. Uh, we're gonna have fun today talking about environment creation.
Yeah, it looks like my Skype crop has not stayed where I wanted it to be. I'm just going to make an adjustment here on OBS. So maybe I can't. OBS, why are you acting like this? Hang on.
Okay.
Uh, oh, well, it's fine. It's just like sort of not doing what I want. Let's just try to reset it. Sorry, we had this all set up right, and then it's changed. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. That's why. Skype capture. Change that. That should be to there. Yeah, I had this all set and then it like changed on me.
Yeah, we tested it all out. It was all working.
All right, now it should be good. Now we're not seeing weird Skype borders. All right, so yeah, let's talk a bit about Farside City. Also, of course, the Kickstarter is doing really well.
Yeah.
As you brought up, 18,000. We're over.
Yeah.
What's that? 85%. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to funding.
Yeah. Yeah. So check out the Kickstarter. Actually, I'll paste a link into the chat here.
And if anyone's not familiar with Sentinels of Earth Prime, it's a cooperative superhero themed card game using the same system as Sentinels of the Multiverse. And they're cross compatible.
Yeah, so if you've got Sentinels of Multiverse, you can... Oh, I know what's happened because Skype has put this like error bar on the top, and now if I click it, it's going to screw it up again. It's fine. Sorry. Yeah, if you have Earth Prime, you can play all the multiverse content within that. If you have both, basically, you can play all the characters from each game in the other game. So that's what it's going to be like. But it of course has all new heroes, villains, and environments. And I'll give a quick introduction to Farside City here from the Freedom City sourcebook. In a crater on the far side of Earth's moon is a hidden city thousands of years old. Its inhabitants, the Farsiders, also known as Selunites or Moon People, are the descendants of humans taken from Earth by the alien preservers, the same race that seeded humanity across the galaxy. The preservers built Farside City in a deep crater along with atmospheric generators and settled a number of humans there. Apparently, they used the city as some sort of outpost or perhaps a living laboratory to study humanity. They may also have intended the city to ensure the survival of various species, including humans, if something happened to wipe out life on Earth. Certainly, some of their myths suggest their home was intended as the last refuge. Whatever the case, the preservers disappeared long ago, leaving the Farsiders to develop on their own. And there's quite a bit more backstory about Farside City, but maybe we'll revisit that later on. It seems like an interesting place to visit.
Yeah, it certainly does. On the other side of the moon, and hopefully, I've been cycling through some of the images from the card art for Farside City to get an idea of how it should feel.
Crater apes.
There's crater
There's
apes.
a whole section in the book about crater apes.
Yeah, crater apes have not made their way into the digital version yet, but I suspect we'll be adding some crater ape, at least some craters for them.
Exactly.
Oh, yep. So that's the deck. What's on the screen right now is the deck back image for Farside City. And you can see, as you can see, it's underneath a big dome in space. So I guess we'll switch over now to Unity, where I've been building Farside City. And I will zoom out so you can see how it's set up right now. There's like and I guess it needs to be a bit deeper and higher mountains, but right now you see there's like a city in the middle of a terrain, and there's some atmosphere going on. And then when it's underneath the dome, I have a dome I can turn on and off. So I guess, whoops, we'll go to the demo scene and I'll show everybody what things look like as of right now for the different backgrounds. So let me turn the dome on. So I was thinking, so the way the environments are used in the game is we have a background image when the game starts, and then a background image when the game ends, and then a whole bunch of captures for it when you're playing the game. So each character has a different environment background image behind them. So that's a total of, I want to say 14 cameras, or is it 12? Now
I think it's 12, but I could
I
be
think
wrong.
it's 12. Because the most you would need is if you're playing with like villain team characters. But like, so normally there's the villain, the environment, up to 5 heroes, so that's 7.
Yeah,
and
Oblivion has more actually.
8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I feel like it's 14, but I'd have to double check.
Yeah,
that.
maybe I'll find out.
14. Yeah. So, so I was thinking like we'd have for the start and the end. One of them would be like showing the city under the dome, and one would be like inside the city with like the nighttime sky in the background. And then, alternatively, we could have the same view and have it be when it's daytime, and then some various captures around the city. And my understanding of Farside City is there's like little parks and structured like the vegetation and trees in the city. So that's another thing that will be getting developed further. Right now, they're kind of placeholder trees at the moment. And so I've set up some different cameras around the city so we can look around. All right, so
yeah, so we do. There's 12 regular images and start and end, so that's a total of 14. You're right.
Okay. That's what I was pretty sure it was 14 because, well, and I know like when we made Oblivion, I went back and had to revisit the other environments and add some cameras. So that was a pretty exciting undertaking.
Yeah, Oblivion needs more because of the battle zones. There can be more squares on the screen, basically. So.
All right. So there's a lot of things happening in here. And I'm trying to think where would be the best place to start. So we can go right inside the city. And so one thing because a lot of the card art, the sky was very clear, and I'm wondering if there should be more atmosphere happening.
Like some clouds and stuff inside the dome.
Yeah, like there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, definitely should be clear that they're inside the dome and not outside.
Right. Yeah, I think when I added the dome, I kind of turned off a lot of them because they were leaking outside of the dome. But they can be also a thing that we turn on and off. So maybe I'll turn those back on. There's like a whole bunch of cloud systems that were here. And yeah, updating to the new, I'll just turn all of these back on. I'm used to, because this is Unity 2022, and I'm used to having a little checkbox on the left side, like, so I can, it's weird having to go to the other side of the screen.
That's a package we use, so maybe if that's not working, or you don't have it in this project. That's a plugin.
I never. Is it really a plugin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I need to. Okay, I guess I need to install it. I'm used to it just being there.
Yeah, it's a plugin called Hierarchy 2.
Okay. I will. I could install it now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can just like drag it in from another project, probably.
Yeah, probably. I have a whole bunch of environment projects saved on here. I was just playing around in Celestial Tribunal. Let's pull it out of there. Because I grabbed some of the starfields and stuff from Celestial Tribunal. Hierarchy. I want to see it.
Yeah, maybe you didn't have it in that one. It would be like if you go to like Spirit Island or something.
Okay.
Spirit Island 2.
Yeah, something went wrong and I just recloned it because...
Yeah, there's Hierarchy 2.
Alright.
Hopefully it doesn't have errors in the new Unity. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find
there's
out.
all your little things.
Oh, there they are. Yay! Oh my gosh, that's so much better.
Yeah, it really should be just a Unity feature.
You know, honestly, I feel, is it possible that it was at one time and then it went away?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Or maybe I just got so used to it just being there.
Yeah, we're used to it being there because we've always used that plugin since like the first version of Sentinels.
Yeah, it's pretty handy to have. Okay, so let's... Alright, so that's the first thing I'll do is I'll go and get some clouds back in that view. And I don't know if we'll stick with these cloud systems, but they're available right now, so...
Yeah, another thing I was thinking, like, especially for the wide shot, I think we want, like, the city to go all the way to the edges of the dome.
Yeah.
Because right now it sort of looks like it's just sitting in the crater without any foundation to it. In some of it, anyway.
That's a good point.
Sort of making it look like it's complete. Like, even if it's not actually complete, just if it looks like it from that angle.
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, I'm going to add some clouds in and then I'm going to go revisit the wide shot to fill in, and that'll be a fun thing to do on the stream, is like fill in the blank spots in between the buildings. Yeah, there's lots of like back and forth with it. And then sometimes I'll notice, like when I do a capture and then I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, that would look so much better if I added some kind of effect or lighting or something like that. And we can do also, and since we're in space, we could do all sorts of cool particle effects and spacey things. Now it's very cloudy over there. Maybe a little too cloudy. Let's see. And it's not bad. Alright, looks like I added clouds everywhere. Let's go back to this wide shot. Oops. And turn off the clouds and turn back on the dome. Now it looks like the dome is touching the top of the screen, but okie dokie. So as you can see in the bottom of the screen, little game box, it shows how it will look in a square capture, because we capture the cameras in either 2048 by 2048 or 4096 by 4096, and then scale them down in Unity because they're coming in, because they're large textures, so we want to keep them square to keep the file sizes reasonable. Okay.
Yeah, so in that view, like you can see, like towards the bottom, like it sort of looks like the city's floating on a rock. But if it's like fully extends all the way to the side and the front, then I think that'll look more like it's filled in and not floating in a bubble.
Yeah, one thing I wasn't sure about is should there be grass? Like, well, I guess there's grass in between the walkways, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm wondering, like, I could, yeah, because what I had is like the city that where I had the cameras, and then I just added some more buildings, but it's too spaced out. It needs to be one continuous thing.
Yeah, maybe
So
sort of put in a street layout or like something like that.
that's a good idea. We have
Or like walking streets at least.
yeah, another group of things. I'll call it cities. Sure, city streets. We can rename that later. Yeah, and there's a bunch of little street pieces in this platform city package. Yeah, floor and roof. Well, there's these little pieces that are in here. What are they called? Yeah, because I guess that is one big block underneath. Oh my gosh. The controls are the navigation controls I'm not loving. Oh, like it didn't change a lot, but it changed just enough to throw me off. Yeah, I guess we can put like that sidewalk pattern going back through there. No, it sounds like the fans are kicking up. It happens. That's what they do. I mean, that looks like a road. Something sort of. That needs to be a lot bigger too. And the terrain is like a rocky pattern at the moment. And I'm thinking that like the edges should go up since this should be more of a sunk crater, but I don't know if this is the way to do it. Or if it should be one big block. That does not look very good, so I'm gonna look for a better street piece. Because it needs to all look pretty spacey. Like very futuristic and I guess these pieces are probably that looks like an intersection almost. I'm not sure if that's what it's intended to be, but
Are there like outside paths? Maybe another folder, I'm not sure.
yeah, I thought there were, but I'm not finding them now.
What about under ramps and stairs or what's underblock, is that used for like
Yeah, underblock is like little pieces of machinery, so I'm not
they're
sure.
like things that the floating city is floating on, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of them I turned off in the scene because they looked a little goofy. But,
Yeah.
well, we can make a little walkway with with these pieces. I think
Sure.
is at least a place to start. Because there's probably a lot happening in Farside City, I would imagine. I think I'll put like just as a general guide, and then I'll fill in buildings and things like that around. Let's call it. Let's make another folder for this. We can rotate that. Wow, that was anchored very strangely. Let's find that other piece to put the intersection back. I'm thinking that then I'll fill it in with buildings all through here, or maybe a grassy area and buildings would be good. Because like what I did just is a background is I put like a round grassy little park thing there. So maybe like a rectangle, yeah. And yeah, this one it's only halfway there because it was like part of it was the camera.
Just for one
so
view.
I guess this would be a good time to I could go ahead and fill that in, right? And rotate that around. There's definitely more precise ways to do this, but for blocking it in, I feel like that should probably be closed off. All right. And then maybe maybe like a grassy path along the way. So let's just do a cube. And where did you put it? Unity. Of course, Unity put it floating off in the sky because that was convenient, right? I can stick it right here. Let's make this. I have like grassy. So there can be like a little grassy path along the walkway. And I'm thinking that like I'll probably add in some plants and stuff there too. But there's this big gap here that I'm gonna fill in with some little buildings. So let's do that.
Just like having a Lego set.
It is. It's like a Lego set or a dollhouse or something. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, if you're watching it in the chat, feel free to let us know what you think, or if you have any suggestions. Maybe we can take that into account.
Chat. The Alt button is right next to the Windows button. That's why I keep accidentally pressing the Windows button. So I'm thinking maybe like a row of these little round buildings would be nice here. Yeah, it's always interesting when the environment is like an actual city as opposed to some really even more fantastical type of environment. So we've had a little bit of everything show up. There have been 27 environments in Sentinels so far, and then there'll be four new environments with the core version of Earth Prime, and then there's an expansion environment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's Farside City, and then there's Freedom City, which is a more human-y city, and then like an Earth City, and then there's Tartarus and the Terminus. Okay.
Yeah, they're all pretty different.
They're real different. It's
just got a big sound. Was that your computer made the big bloop sound, or was that my computer?
I did not hear it, so I'm thinking probably your computer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like make sure my computer is not making notifications.
Let's see where all. Okay, so that filled in a little bit on the left side, but it looks like we need in that back middle area. There's some big gaps too. Okay, let's go back to furniture's inside of these buildings too. It's pretty fun. All right, and it looks like I have a lot. Right now I've got a lot of these round towers, not enough of the weirdly shaped ones. So let's add some more of these pointy things. I'll put that in my new city. What's it called? City streets and mall. Alright, let's see. Maybe back here. Yeah, that's probably too far to the edge of the dome, isn't it? No, I know that's actually right at the edge. It's floating in the air, so we don't want it floating in the air. Yeah, this building has like some cool stuff sticking out of the side of it, so I'll rotate one of these.
Okay, yeah.
I'll stick that further back, and then I think where's a good place for you? Yeah, I don't know how precise the walkways need to be detailed back there, unless we want to stick a camera back there, because it's pretty. You can see it in the wide shot, but not a whole lot of detail. But I also want it to be overlapping. All right, and then another thing, looking at it, it looks like it's going up about right in the back right, but I think we could use. So this is actually a Unity terrain I made to,
Okay.
so it's to get it, so I can get it like exactly where we want it around the, so I can just,
Yeah, it makes it easy to edit.
yep, it can just go in and pull things up. Because it, yeah, because I want to have the sky behind some of the taller buildings, but we also want it to look like it's sitting inside of a crater, which would be
Yeah.
pretty high up on the side. So yeah, I love the Unity terrain tool. I always have. It's one of the it's super fun to play with.
You could even make a star with that star brush.
Oh, I will. I will make it just because you mentioned it. There'll be a secret star off in this corner that's not in any camera. Yeah, I'll make it. Yeah, we can make it. That's a little too big. I'll make it stronger. Yep, you can make a star. So you could. So if you had a game where characters are walking around, they could literally be walking around inside of a star.
Yeah, they could climb up and be like, "Who put this star here on the moon?"
It's like a. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's like a candy or something.
Yeah, they can
like,
make some really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's like a. Oh yeah, that's kind of cratery, right? That shape.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'll add some of that where the camera can see it. Maybe like in the front over here would be neat. Maybe it needs to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, I have a little bit of roughness in there already. But this does feel very cratery. I wonder if that's kind of interesting. That adds a lot of
Yeah, it makes it
or
moony.
makes a lot, yeah. It adds a lot more variation in the edges of this moon crater thing. And I think now my understanding is there's some other like areas that have like little nature preserves and stuff on the
Yeah,
moon.
there's supposed to be like side domes that are off to the side, right? So we could have like
Yeah.
channels cut through the crater or something that are leading there, or maybe like a recess in the crater with a small dome in it or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let me see what they said. They wrote it in our notes here.
Yeah, so we could do a little mini crater like over here or something.
They said, yeah, outlying, it has a lot of parkland and outlying secondary domes with nature preserves.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew it was something like that. So I'm thinking maybe I can do because I could put a little dome over this crater here and we could make it all naturey and stuff.
Yeah, have like a park inside and like a tunnel to it maybe or something like that.
Yeah. Do we, well, yeah.
Sort of like, or like a bubble walkway between the domes.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. So let's see. So we have a dome like that. And I can just, so it's like a sphere with a material on it. And I'll go back to the city streets and more buildings, but I was just
Hop around a lot.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like suddenly I got all excited at the thought of like making a little dome bubble, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to show
It
while
all
we're
started with the star.
right. Hey, that you never know what's gonna be inspirational. All right. Second dome. All right. It needs to be in its own section. Yeah, and this is actually just a sphere. It's because since you can't see the bottom, I didn't cut it off. So I just yeah, it's not as pointy as in the card art. I checked and was told that it is okay for it to be rounded. And yeah, and you may notice it's much darker. I have lights inside that dome, so I'll be adding some lights inside this dome as well. But just for scale for what's going to be all naturey. It looks like, oh, let's see. I think I need to make the carved out part a little bit wider in the middle to accommodate something that's a circle instead of just a blob of blobbiness. So
yeah, I wonder if we can find like just like a nice park asset that we could just pop in there too.
Yeah, I think that is something we should probably look for. I was looking and there's some good tree packs and stuff. Oh, that's kind of works to have it totally flat. It's like,
yeah, I think, well, I mean, you would have flat ground inside, right? And then have like your grass and other stuff. I guess it doesn't have to be totally flat, but I think that's part of the aesthetic, is that like everything is like manicured and constructed. So like having like a park that has like perfectly flat ground is not unusual here.
yeah. Well, I have, let's see. And it's a little bit too stylized, I think, for this environment, but it's still kind of cool. This Dreamscapes pack. Yeah, it has these like cute little terrain thingies. So I was thinking, just for setup purposes, I could pop one of those in here. That looks a little weird. Maybe the other one's better. Yeah, maybe we need to get that centered underneath the door. It's hard to see with the door. Actually, that works pretty well. I'll smooth out that edge there. All right, and then I can stick some trees in. Oh, Uni. Teeny tiny little trees, but and I guess we'll have to add some, we can add some wildlife in there too if we want.
Yeah, they said there would be, and actually, remember they said the trees would be like sort of taller and skinnier, so we could like scale them vertically a little bit potentially.
Yeah,
Just, like
that's a good
stretch
idea.
them because of the
What
low
I'm going to do
gravity.
is stick a camera in there to make it easier to see what's going on. Eee. And try not to get too dizzy as the camera is jerking around the scene. So now there's a camera inside of our little dome here. We can make it a little bit of a wider angle so we can see more of it. And we can turn off the dome props. All right. Guess it has to be kind of.
It can probably be like inside.
I'm thinking maybe it can just be inside.
But like you can see the dome is a dome double-sided, so you can see the inside of the dome from inside.
It is not at the moment, but it could be.
Yeah, it probably should be so that the inside cameras can see that curve of the dome as part of their view, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Although what I did for the other cameras is just turned it off, but yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it needs to be like super obvious, but like.
Yeah, for now I'll just turn it off. Yeah, revisit that at some point soon. Let's get this. And then, I don't know, I picked some random trees. And yeah, let's scale them vertically a little bit. See how that looks. Oops. They seem awfully large compared to like the little mountain there, but maybe that's okay. Now the camera seems way too high up and far away. And this tree looks very tall and weird. So that's good. Maybe some of them are smaller. And then we can also add some atmosphere in here too. I like to use particle systems. And then you can kind of you can make it as big or as small as you want it to be. Unfortunately, I put it off in space. Because, of course, Alright, particle system, where are you? Put you inside of here. Okay. It's not too far away. Looks like Unity's stuck it underneath the terrain, which is fun. That's always fun, and then trying to get it back where you want it. But there we go. Alright, at least it's above ground. Yeah, so like the default particles are just little glowing blobs, but we're gonna change that. So start with the shape. Right now is a cone. Thinking. A sphere could be interesting because we're actually inside of a sphere. Yeah, let's look at that. It's like just particles everywhere. We want them to be a bit larger than that. Oops. Alright, now let's find better particles than those. And there's a bunch of like nebulas. I pulled in from one of the packs from the Celestial Tribunal. So there's some really cool particles we can stick in here just to make these a lot less of one and a lot bigger. Right now it's emitting 10 at a time. Let's 5, and let's make them, let's see, what do I have for size? Oh, 1 to 10. How about 10 to 20?
Whoa.
Whoa!
They're exploding.
Yeah. That's a little bit more than I was thinking. But the other thing to do too is have them fade out over time. So when they're further away from wherever they're starting, and I may change where they start at, but trying to add some fun atmosphere in here. All right, and I guess right now it's a tiny little sphere, I think, that's emitting them. That's why they're all in one spot. So we can make it much larger. Yeah, so it's a radius of 1. Make that. Yeah. And that's probably not the best, probably not the best material either, but we're having some fun. Now it's just going crazy. Where's the camera? Actual camera? Okay. Yeah.
It actually doesn't look like anything on the camera, but then in the scene view, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm not sure why there's like that big of a difference. There's all sorts of fancy lighting things happening in
Oh, because it's probably, I think, well, yeah, it's still like, yeah, I guess the scene view camera is seeing more of it somehow.
Yeah. All right. So that's really interesting. Bursts of stuff everywhere. Let's tone this down a bit. Let's find a better, maybe something a little less bright and crazy. That's a little bit more what I was thinking of. So, like some subtle lighting. Oh, that's interesting. Like the blue. I'm gonna get pink. I'm thinking something like this is would be kind of nice. Maybe the greener one was better. All right. It looks a little bit crazy. And yeah, it seems strange to me that it's so much brighter up here. All right, so then whenever we capture, there'll be a little bit of something happening. Okay, and then I guess there should be some other stuff in here, like maybe flowers or plants or something. What is this? Oh, it's like a little rose bush. I don't know if that fits in with this world, but it's kind of fun. Probably not the right thing to stick there, though. All right. And then, yeah, so I guess the dome doesn't really... Yeah, I'll have to get a double-sided dome to put in there, but... Yeah, so we can have at least like 1 or 2 cameras inside of this type of area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back to filling in some of the buildings. All right. All right, back to the main city. So it looks like we still have some gaps back here. So maybe another walk. I kind of like the idea of having all these little buildings along the walkway, like maybe they're houses or something. Or offices, I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff happening in Farside City. Lots of things. It looks like these 2 buildings are touching each other, which is not great. That's a cool looking one back here. Like it's sinking into the ground more than it needs to be. So pull that up.
Well, there's a lot under there.
Yeah, I think originally there was a different terrain. Like there was like a... Actually, I can show you. I'll turn off. So they've changed a little bit about how this is set up. There was a not that terrain. I might have deleted it actually, now that I'm thinking about it. There was a different... There was like a mountainy thing that came with it that I was using. It was lower down than the terrain that I put in. But I thought I needed the customizability of it to get it. So it was like literally built up around the city. So yeah, the base to this is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
So we want that to be visible. Yeah. One unfortunate thing about this pack is they have the centers of the models in the middle instead of at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Which is a little bit frustrating. But I mean, it's not a problem really the way they're being used here. But if I had to pick, I would have them anchored at the bottom. If I was building them myself, that's what I would do. And let's see, let's do this.
Back to back.
Back to back. I don't know. Does that look good or stupid?
Yeah, I mean, you see that sort of thing in architecture, paired buildings, so.
Good. And these are not, like, I wonder if they should be more grid-like than they are. There's kind of in there. Although I guess these are kind of like background buildings, but that one's a little bit underground too. Now it's blocking it. It's smaller. These do a row of these little buildings. So that should fill in a lot of the holes that we could see before here. And then I think I need some more on the right edge as well, behind the floating platform. So let's take a look there. And this one, I think maybe is too tall, and I'll put another one of these. Yeah, it looks like we need some more buildings over here. Actually, I think these little blue ones would be good. Yeah, that's what we needed. Probably cameras right by this one, so. Alright, and this looks like I need to smooth it out slightly in that corner there. Okay, and then let's see, how's the dome looking? Yep, everything's still inside the dome. So one thing I like to do periodically is remember to save my work, and then I'll go see how these look.
Yep,
Cycle
that's
through them, see how they're looking in context. So there it is without the dome over it. It looks a lot more filled in than it did before. And I can't tell if that's like an extra, if that's a piece on it or if it's like shadow being cast from somewhere. Let me see how this looks underneath the dome. Okay.
Yeah, I think like the city should like come right up. Like you can see that like there's those foreground parts of the crater.
Yeah.
Like it should come up so it seems like it's like continuing on underneath where you can't see. Right?
Yeah, it should. And I'm not sure if I should flatten it out completely like I did for the little one.
I mean
Or if I
that might make it easier to work with.
that would make it a lot easier to work with. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see.
Yeah, I think that gray thing is part of the building. It's like a
Yeah, I think it is. I'm gonna have to look. I don't love it. If
yeah.
there's a way to turn it off, that would be good. It's a little goofy. Looks like I think I have the cloud systems turned off. I was just looking to see that nothing broken at the moment.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing like a little more like the city looks a
Weird,
little
the
more fleshed out.
particles.
Oh, there's the particles.
There they are. They took a second. But yeah, it definitely looks like it's more dense than it was before. I mean, there's still some gaps to fill in, but
Yeah, I wonder if like it would be cool if there's like a ring around where the dome is. Like you could make like a circular pathway, and that could be like where some like there could be like some like the dome right now is just a sphere, right? But it would have some sort of structure on the ground where it's coming from, right?
yeah. That would be cool. We can do that.
And then like you could imagine there would be like a ring road or path along the dome, and then like radiating in towards the center pathways. I don't know if there's like a circular piece you could copy or get from some other pack. Maybe Mars base has something we could use.
Yeah, probably does. So I know there's some dome buildings in there. So I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that piece, I can turn it off. Good. I like that building better without that piece on it. So let's turn it off on all of them.
Yeah, it's just like a decorative window.
Yeah, it's like it's. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just. I think it works better, especially since there's so many of them in here.
Mm-hmm.
So let me think. Look at it from the top down. It's circular, but not exactly circular. So we need to. I see how I have the dome position kind of goofy. Let's try. Before I break what's there, I'll copy it and see if it would. Actually be a little too big for the size of the city. I'm wondering if it would make more sense for it to be.
Oh no, those people are dying.
I broke Farside City. Oh my gosh. All right, Unity, don't do that. Yeah, I didn't mean that much. No, I meant like maybe like that. Gave room for, well, oh, that's actually really tight on the top building. It's weird because in the camera it looks like there's a lot more space.
There's like a lot of foreshortening happening.
Yeah, well, I have it at a super wide angle. Maybe that's why, but. Move that so it's not sticking out of the dome. Do this forward so it's not overlapping. Okay. So everything is contained inside the dome, which is important. It looks like there's still some tiny pieces sticking out. I guess maybe I'll make the dome very slightly larger. Okay. And I may want to change that camera angle. I'm wondering if maybe it's too. Make it 80. I'm gonna pull it back.
Yeah, like I don't think we should see that there's like raw terrain inside the dome at all.
Yeah, I agree. Like having it coming. Yeah, so I think we can. I'll flatten some of that and then. Because the terrain coming up in front of the dome is one thing, but like inside there, shouldn't be there. So
yeah, and I mean you see that in the deck back that the terrain outside of the dome is like natural lunar terrain, but inside the dome it should be all manicured and populated.
Very, very precise. Okay. Yeah, one thing.
Yeah, we don't actually see like the edge of the dome in any art, I don't think, but it would make sense that it would have some sort of like at least marker or structure.
Yeah, for sure I can smooth out and have it be like more circular area in here. So let's see. Oop, that's way too big. More of an edge back there. And definitely more of a. Is that what you meant, sort of?
Yeah, like where the dome comes down and touches the like anything inside the dome would be flat, right?
Yep.
And where the dome touches down onto that, there would be like a building that the dome is connected to, or at least like a path, like a ring where the dome is touching. I would think maybe you could see a little bit. Probably don't need to do the whole thing because it's not going to show up on all the cameras, but like in like the left hand side of that, if you want, could include that or something like that.
Yeah, so for layout purposes, I'm going to, of course. All right, Unity, where'd you put your little cylinder?
It's a tiny cylinder.
To visualize this a little better, we're gonna. That's way too tall, obviously.
I don't know if Unity can make a ring, but I guess a cylinder works too, because you could.
Yeah. If Unity can make, I suppose it's possible they can make a ring, but I know I mean, I can make a ring and bring it in. Yeah, there's cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, plane, and quad are the built-in ones. But a cylinder, for layout purposes, should really show us where.
That's sort of the boundary of the city is the cylinder, and that's where the dome touches the ground.
Yeah. So. I guess there's lots of things to fill in here, but
I mean, yeah, I don't think I'd fill in everything, but just sort of where the camera sees it at least.
Well, this will also show like where I need to flatten out the terrain to fit everything in.
Yeah, I mean, you could even include a cylinder like that and make it like gray or whatever to like look like concrete or steel. Put a metallic material on it as like that's the default floor, whatever so you're not seeing rock. If there's a gap, you're seeing that instead.
That is a good idea. Yeah, it does look. It looks like it does need to be that big, doesn't it? At least the way I have it set up right now. Okay. Let's see if there's a good material that's hanging out here. Distance building. I don't think this is actually being used anywhere. This is like a kind of a concrete. So we can make that lighter also. And maybe tiled so it doesn't look the way it looks right now. We'll stick with that concrete. Ooh, we can even add a little bit of a normal map. Apparently there's a normal map. It doesn't look amazing. Doesn't look terrible. Probably not going to be showing very much, and it may end up getting removed altogether. But for the moment, I'll see this. All right.
Oh yeah, it's higher than those buildings.
Yeah, well, part of it is I'm trying to get it so it's like right above the terrain.
Right.
And it looks like it's covering up some other stuff now, but oh, funny things happen sometimes.
I guess you could always say that's at 0 and everything's based off of it, but yeah. You don't want to have to move everything else.
Well, I don't know. This should be pretty flat here on the terrain, but it looks like it isn't. No, that's the lowest it's gonna go. I guess I could move this down to like -9. Cylinder. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's still covered. Yes, covering up. Oh, mine's covered now. There we go. Minus 10.8. All right. I think that'll give us a general idea. So I'll smooth out this terrain along the edges. Does not shift is what I want. On shift when you click, it makes it go down. I guess it can be like really. Yeah, it's weird how like in the camera it looks way too. Yeah, it looks way different than it should. But that is some. That's why we have the camera showing so we can see how it's gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see. That's a lot closer to what it should look like. Yeah, and then it's flat up to the front, and I gotta raise up that area there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, purposely leaving it a little bit lower in the front so it see it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you could just change the camera or increase the rocks there, and then you have to fill it less if you want.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, just like make that front wall a little bit higher, then you get more foreground rocks, and you don't actually have to fill in as much.
Yeah. Too big. Where are you, camera? You are there. Ah. That's why nothing I'm doing is actually showing up. Because it's too far from the camera. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. That's more how it should look.
Yeah, and I guess actually most of that isn't going to even be on screen on like 16:9, so we do want to make it go up higher probably.
On the
on that current camera view, right? Like if we put that texture in the game and show it start of game, we're not going to actually see that those bottom rocks.
Right.
So they can be a little higher. Or even have the angle change a little bit potentially.
You can see like if would it make sense to just lower the camera a little? Would that make more sense?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's not bad actually.
Yeah.
Now the only thing is how does this look up close here? Should it be rougher, or do you think it's okay like it is?
Yeah, it looks okay to me. It's got some depth to it.
Yeah, I think that I'll maximize it. So that's.
Yeah, so we'll probably want to fill in a bit more, like.
Yeah, like definitely on the left side. That.
Yeah.
And then in the front.
Because you want to sort of imply that it's continuing on towards you, right? Like, and you can't see it because of those rocks, but it's there. It doesn't have to be there totally, but like, streets continuing on and stuff like that.
Yep, I agree. I'm thinking the best way to do that. So, well, I guess we could have some because I don't know that we necessarily want to see underneath this floating platform here. So I could put some buildings in front of that, and then
sure,
would be one option. There's lots of ways to do this. All right, so I'll turn off. But yeah, definitely we can. It's a lot easier now to see where the dome starts and ends. It's for layout. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like there's a lot of space there, but it's actually not that much space.
Yeah, it's all getting foreshortened a lot in the camera.
Of twin buildings over here. Let's see. Let's look at what types of buildings we have. Just ready to go. Buildings. So we've got those buildings, we've got that building, like some little ones. Oh, the little red ones. The tall red ones. And the really tall ones. Okay. Yeah, I haven't used this one as much. So let's get in there, except not floating. Oh, weird. Okay. Oh, I can't even see that there.
Yeah, like just there, so you can see that there's something there. You don't actually get to see most of it.
Yeah, those are blocked by rocks, but I imagine some of the cameras that are in there, things will look a little different now that we've moved.
Yeah.
Stuff around. I'm thinking we want some more grassy. Maybe there should be another like grassy area over here, even if it's just like a cube of grass.
Yeah, I think having some more parks and stuff is good. Trees and parks and they're like sort of curated style. You could even like grab that circular park that you made over there and put it in another couple places, right?
That is a good idea. Let's do circle park. I guess it's just the base of it, but that'll give us a good idea for layout. So yeah, I think we could do one there and then another one nearby.
Yeah, maybe in the front area, because then we'd see it in the camera.
Oh, like over here? Yeah, that's a good idea. Weird how. I guess what's showing up in the camera is underneath that floating thing. That's what was throwing me off. Okay.
Yeah, that could even be like underneath the floating.
Yeah, and I guess it can be smaller than it is too, so it doesn't go into the terrain. But yeah, and there's actually already a tree stuck in there, so that works. Maybe there should be more trees.
As long as they're not like intersecting with the building.
Right. Yeah, I think when I stuck that tree in there, I thought it's awfully.
Yeah, it's actually into the building.
Yeah, so that tree is a little bit bigger than it should be. Yeah, it was conveniently like slanting to the left, or not straight up. wants to be a lot smaller so it's not going into things. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's maybe not exactly how we want the trees, but it's definitely filling in some bits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the one. That one. Maybe put a bush there. Preferably not one that's floating in the air. And I think I'll probably replace these with some, if we get a like a parks and trees type plaque. But because I think we're kind of in general making these environments more realistic looking than the Sentinels environments. We did a lot of toon shading with outlines and stuff, and these are going to be more
clean.
I don't know the right what?
More clean
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
More clean, yeah. That's a good way of putting it. All right, and then I think we still need something good right here.
Probably put a walkway going like between the different parks. Maybe.
That's a good idea. Yeah, let me. And I think we'll probably want. Well, let me think about this. Yeah, walkways, it's getting cut off, but that's okay. Let's try and have a piece that's like intersecting there. Okay. That one's okay. Maybe something like that. And then there should probably be like a building or something there. How about one of these? Or that may be too big. Well, we'll see. Actually, that's not bad because then you can see
Yeah.
like the city continues.
Yeah, he likes that.
I think that's good. The walkway. Slightly forward. And actually, I can change the camera angle too. Just having it like peeking out in the corner so you can see that there's still more city that's not in there. And then let's see, this looks like a good building though. Stick over here. Maybe slightly smaller version. Oh, sounds like it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the noise is. It's rain and
Oh,
thunder.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I just heard a
In case you're
thunderclap.
wonder- Yeah, in
It's
case
a
you were wondering, that's suddenly
beautiful
what happened.
summer day here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like it's been like 90 degrees. It's very warm. Okay, and then in the front little spot here, the easy thing to do would be to just bring the rocks up, but I feel like maybe there should be a building there.
Or a big neon sign that says, "Welcome to Farside City."
Is that
No,
thematically would that be a thing?
No, it's not a thing. It's just on the
Like,
deck. On the deck back, it looks like it's just because of the logo there.
yeah, it does. Well, I mean that could be arranged.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then I think right now that we're looking at the cards, the Moonstone is something. Probably not going to get to that today, but that's something that I'll be getting there probably at some point because I know that's really important to the lore of Farside City.
I guess some sort of like mechanically looking building might be good for the front there because it's like next to the dome. I don't know if we have another different building, but yeah, whatever you're putting is going to be giant because of the foreshortening, the FOV of the camera.
I had, what was it? Was it the Celestial Tribunal? I was just looking at. Let me. I feel like there's probably a lot of buildings in there. Because I know I have that on here and I was looking at it the other day, so why don't I pull up?
Or the Enclave of the Endlings has a lot of stuff. Spacey.
Yeah, the Enclaves of the Endlings has lots of stuff. I don't think I've cloned it onto this computer yet. The other thing too is the Terminus is going to have lots of sci-fi stuff, so there may be some stuff that ends up in both places. What's the space? Yeah, if there's like a sci-fi level,
yeah, all this stuff. Yeah.
There's like, I think this is, yeah, I don't know if this was used a whole lot in Celestial Tribunal, but this is, I think, from Wagner Mars Base. This looks like, or maybe Fort Adamant. Actually, I'm not sure. Looks like I tinted everything green because it's Celestial Tribunal.
Yeah.
That's not a huge problem. Let's see. Is there a building?
Maybe under quick prefabs.
Corridors. These are pretty cool. These are good pieces of buildings. Stuff. Big pillar. Yeah, it's always fun revisiting these things.
Yeah, maybe something in Space Base Pack. Or Space Station Pack.
Space Pack. Yeah, like, because I know some of these, because we also had them for the mobile defense platform.
Right.
There was lots of stuff. Engine. Ooh, look at those.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's in Celestial Tribunal. Yeah, I remember that weird engine thing somewhere.
Yeah, it has that. It has that look. Yeah, these are definitely, these types of things are definitely in there. Ooh, that might be useful. I don't know if that's too low poly, but.
Oh, for the Moonstone or whatever.
Yeah. Oops.
Right.
Yeah, like for the arms of it.
I think that's from Fort Adamant as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like I took a lot of these things and made them green for Celestial Tribunal. Did I look at Space Station Pack today? That's a nice dirty air filter. Yeah, these look like they're from the mobile defense platform. And Mordengrad had some
Right.
buildings too.
Oh yeah, and the Tribunal has
Yeah.
this reactor could be interesting to put there where it's like a power source.
Yeah, that'd be kind of those. Like I could put those like all over the city.
Yeah.
They don't have, and they don't necessarily have to be green. They could be.
Yeah.
It looks like because the other buildings are like blues and orangey reds. Make it blue.
Or tint them red because it's like a danger.
Yeah, the space station pack has lots of good bits and pieces in it. It's like. Does it have any of those crazy mechanical arms? Alright, I'll go ahead and bring this space station pack into Unity, so this will be a fun experience. Okay, hopefully it won't. I don't.
Yeah, it's coming from Unity 2017, so hopefully it's all right to go into 2022.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, and it's 360 megabytes, not 360 gigabytes, so it should be it should be like a pretty quick. Yeah, now I get a little spinny thing. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Well.
Yeah, this is our first time making an environment in the latest Unity 2022, so.
Yeah, so let's see if these things came. And it looks like only some of the textures are broken, so.
Of course, the one that we want.
The most important one. All right,
the material didn't come in, right?
Yeah, something didn't.
Hidden
Apparently
internal error
it's
shader.
using a shader that doesn't exist anymore. So
Okay.
if we make it standard, it looks like it.
Looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah. So it's weird in the little.
Oh, in the preview, yeah.
Yeah, but on the right, like in the actual thing is going to be missing. So if we want to change the color of that, I don't remember if that looks like one that I probably. Well, let's bring it into the scene and see how it looks. And maybe it shouldn't be floating in the air. Let's put it at 0. All right. How big is this reactor? Is it as big as a building? Is it bigger?
I think it's probably not as big as a building.
Yeah, probably not. I kind of want to put it on that little platform right there. I don't know. Is my mouse coming up in the capture? Because I keep pointing.
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool. All right. I feel like that the bright yellowy green is probably not the color we want to stick with for Farside City. But...
Yeah, and maybe even make it more metallic, lighter gray instead of black.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know how this. Okay, so it looks like.
I wonder if those textures, if you change those, or if they were green originally.
You know, I'm not sure, because usually when I change them, I keep them as a PSD to make it easy to edit, and these are both pings, so
that's probably how they came.
Yeah, that's probably how they came. I guess there were 2 different varieties, maybe.
Oh, no, one's emission.
Okay, so then yeah, I guess it must have just been that way.
So you just like go and edit the colors.
Yeah. Well, let me see how because there's probably some quick things we could do to the material to make it more the way we want it to look.
Oh,
so,
just like change the color of that albedo.
Yeah. So I mean, apparently that's not doing
well, because there's an emission as well, right? So that's also
right. Oh, weird. Okay. So the emission color, we can make whatever we want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, that looks all right, as long, if we're okay with it being black. I guess that's the...
With the rest... Yeah, well, yeah. I think I'll end up modifying the texture.
The texture, yeah.
Should this be... What's going on here? I guess we want it to be very metal looking. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to open you in Photoshop. Alright, and we're gonna... Save as... So then now, what we can do... If you want to lighten it up a little, that's probably not light enough. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna look, but let's check it out back in Unity. All right, so we need to change what texture is being used by the material. Where did it go?
Reactor.
Am I looking right at it?
Yeah, scroll down a bit. It's called Reactor.
There it is. Okay. This looks different thread. Okay, and then I can change it to the lighter material. Yeah, so I guess it should be a similar type of gray color to the other buildings in this environment. So
or maybe to the floor of that.
Yeah, it's like the bluish gray. I think would be better. So the other thing we can do is no, that's really blue. So that's not bad, I don't think.
So what's happening? It's very vivid. So what's happening with these layers you're making? I don't know Photoshop, so I don't know if you want to explain to anyone watching.
What I'm doing is just like trying some different effects, like some fast ways to brighten up, because it's like I don't want to go in and mess around too much with the actual image because it's
mapped to the model and everything.
It's mapped to the model, so I'm just adding some layer effects to like lighten the colors or brighten them. And because I have it set to use a Photoshop file as a texture, it'll automatically update in the game. And it's like you can see now it's all tinted blue, and it made
it's like a gunmetal now.
The orange look more pink, and not really what we're looking for. But so what if we just brighten up what's already there? 5%. Let's try. That's
then you don't have to like hit export or anything. You just that's working pretty good.
Like because like of the way these are being used and they're just being captured, it doesn't have to be the most efficient way to do it. So I'm going with the fastest way to do it. You know, like if it was going to be something that was actually like used like in a
like
you
a
know project
FPS
that
or
was
something or whatever. Yeah.
to build, right, I would save it. You know, I would edit it in Photoshop and then save it as a JPEG or a PNG to be a smaller file size.
But Unity's okay with PSDs. I think that's pretty normal workflow for like regular
Yeah,
games is to have a PSD because it gets compressed by Unity when you build anyways into a
yeah,
texture. So the PSD itself doesn't actually go into the game.
yeah. Let's see, we can vary how much this is metallic, about like halfway. And if we want to give it a slightly bluish tint, we can to kind of match the floor better.
That's not bad. I don't mind the
Yeah,
red either.
yeah. I don't actually like it's actually fitting in a little better than I was expecting it to. I'm wondering if I guess the angle that it was at was not bad. Let's see how it looks. We maximize that view. Yeah, it kind of fits
Yeah.
in. And there's probably I could put a few of those around town.
Yeah. Maybe like 3 or 4 of them in different areas. It's like your local, you know, corner nuclear reactor on every street
Yeah,
corner.
right. Why not? I mean, it's on the moon, so anything's possible, right? The rules are different. So let's see, we have one there.
And that's good with comic books to have a convenient source of danger.
That's true. Not over here next to this potted plant. That seems like a good place for a reactor.
It's like ominously glowing green at the top as well. I like that.
Yeah. Why not? Hopefully those will show up in some cameras too. I might wanna. We'll probably be adjusting some of the cameras that are in here already.
Mm-hmm.
One. And this platform over here seems like a good place for one. Whatever it is.
It seems safe.
Yeah, right at the edge. Why not?
Sure.
It blends right in to the scenery. I'm wondering, it seems pretty good. And then I need something good over here. Something would be a good little structure to put there. An oil refiner, that'd be fun. Random panels. Scary looking boxes. Those are fun. Trapdoor to nowhere. That's kind of a fun looking little thing. Some of the textures are a little off. It's weird that it's still showing. But yeah, I think we need to put one more. Maybe a pair of them, just like in the road, the end of this walkway. That sounds. Actually. Here. I know there's a camera over here, and then make sure that shows up in that camera. Yeah, there we go. That's fun. And I guess I don't need this. I don't need that there since I have one. There we go.
Yeah, just outside your balcony. Perfect.
Perfect view.
It's perfectly safe. Contained.
Yeah. Neat. All right, Shelly, let's take a break from the scene to go see how the cameras are generally looking. They've made a lot of updates, so
Yeah, that's definitely looking more fleshed out there.
yeah, that is looking. And we can see how it looks underneath the dome as well. While we're looking, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, there it is. It's filled in a lot better now. And then, oh wow, that reactor's right in the center.
Yeah,
of this
maybe
view.
not for this view. You'll move it.
Yeah, maybe I may be changing this camera.
Right.
It's a little bit. Yeah, it made sense when there was nothing there, but
Mhm.
now it's a little too much. That's a good note. So that's the second camera. That's these look back. That one looks a little bit tilted. I think that camera must have gotten tilted. But yeah, the only major oh, and there's like a dead tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were some dead-looking trees that I think they're supposed to be like winter trees or something.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I turned off all the ones that were showing up in cameras, but they missed one. That's camera number 5 or 6.
Yeah, I guess, and these need like the sky to look like
yeah, I've got to
space.
turn the clouds back on.
Well, I think it needs to look like space, right? Not like it looks right now like Earth.
Well, so I guess I'm not sure the best way to handle it. So we could do it where it's all a spacey sky, or we could do it where some are and some aren't, because like in the deck back it's definitely like a spacey sky, but in these other ones it's really
Oh, that's true.
bright. So
But yeah, I think we need to be able to see that you're inside a dome.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I guess we have to decide what the inside of the dome liner should look like. I guess maybe there'll be seams or something in it.
Yeah, like you can see in Cosmic Radiation Surge, the inside of the dome is showing up because like actually it's getting blasted by something. The cosmic radiation, I suppose.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing like the antenna on top of that building. I should add some antennas on top of building.
Yeah, I think the like gradient of the sky is meant to sort of evoke the dome a little bit, but it's also just like a plain gradient on most of them. I think they just put whatever.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the card art is more focused on the specific.
Yeah.
In the dome. Yeah, I guess the atmosphere generator is generating the atmosphere. It's like a weather machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Okay, so.
Yeah, that's actually that kind of bit like if there's something out of Enclave of the Endlings, it looks a lot like that kind of machinery.
Yeah.
And maybe that's like in a secondary area. You could even be outside of the dome.
Yeah, so do I want to have cloud? Well, I guess the clouds can't be like that. They would need to be shrunk down and inside. So maybe not those cloud systems. So that's a note to add better clouds and the atmosphere generator to be like Enclave of the Endlings. I guess I could add. Why don't I add that in notes while we're talking about? I did not mean to show my email.
Yeah, we should probably ask them if there should be any clouds. I don't think we asked them about that. So.
Okay.
If there would be any weather inside the dome or not. Or if it's just like perfect all the time.
I didn't mean to add to that list. Okay, so we need to Look at play lens for inspiration.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking for like the sky from inside the dome, I kind of think like since there's not actually that much atmosphere, right? Like it'd be cool if it sort of always looked like twilight, like you can see the stars but in the daytime kind of vibe.
That would be cool.
Like yeah, like you know when it starts to get dark and you start to see the first stars but it's like still light. Like that kind of thing.
That's a good idea. What was the other thing that I was just talking about? I'll come back to that. Yeah. Oh, all right. So this camera definitely needs adjusting.
Hello, Hank Royd. We have a chatter.
Yay!
just
Hi,
in
chat.
time for the end.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, we'll have to find a crater ape to put into that park.
Yeah.
Or I guess they live in craters. Let me see what the doc says about crater apes. Crater apes are primates genetically engineered long ago by the mysterious alien preservers, or perhaps the ancient ancestors of the Farsiders. It's not entirely clear. They were originally used to perform heavy labor in parts of Farside City under the psychic control and guidance of Farcyber nobles. They were designed to absorb solar radiation and thrive on it, giving them energy-related powers. Lady Lunar turned them from a labor force into her enforcers and guards. And now, where do they live? I guess they live... I think they said something about that they live in a special place.
Okay.
They live in a nature preserve. So we could like put them in that nature preserve, get like some gorillas and modify them.
Yeah, we could do that.
The crater apes. They're just like climbing on the trees and doing whatever they do.
So that's probably a little bit better than just
moving that camera so it doesn't have the reactor in the middle of it.
Yeah, moving it to the other side of the reactor, so it's
sure. Yeah, it's good. It's like
that's pretty good.
Nice view of all the skyscrapers.
Something weird happening on the left side, so I'll turn a little. Yeah, it's like clipping the stuff that's really far away. Yeah, that's not bad. And then, yeah, I guess we're not doing separate night and day. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna come over. And then I have another similar one that I will turn maybe slightly to the other direction. Since now there's like mountains in all directions and everything's a lot more filled in.
Mm-hmm.
Or cool stuff to look at for the Unity cameras. There's no people in this place.
That's why we have our characters in front.
Yep. I guess they've evacuated the city for their battles.
That's cool.
That's good. Okie dokie. So we've got What was the other camera that was a problem? Alright, so we got the dome will be in the front there. Yeah, that one something looks like it's tilted. I'll go. Hello, fans.
Yeah.
That's what the computer fans are cranking up. Is this the one? Yeah, it looks a little bit. I don't know what's going. Oh, looks like everything's kind of rotated. Yeah, that would
Just
be.
got a Z of -1, so it's just slightly off.
Yeah, it was just very slightly off. I knew it. I knew something was a little bit off with it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And it looks like it is 3 o'clock Eastern now. So I don't know.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good time to
so-
call it if you're good.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good time to take a pause, and I'll. Oops. And now let's see.
Yeah,
So
we'll take
one
a look
last
through
time.
the cameras.
Yep. So I'll take one last look through the cameras today, and
You could put that dome on and have it on a layer that only that camera sees, so you don't have to keep doing that.
that would be a good idea. I will do that. I'll probably do that right after we end the stream. So it's ready to go. Yep. So there's that view, and then yeah, this one we can still like obviously like if we keep the sky in, I'll probably make it a skybox or just make sure you can see it all the way around the city, because
Right.
in the corner you can see where the quad is ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that is like it's not. I don't mind having the sky look like that either. And then it's like artificial lighting inside. Is one way to do it. And then, but if I turn off those props, or it could look more like that.
Yeah, we could ask them, give them some options, and we can always. We often iterate back and forth with creators, so that's something we can work with them to figure out what we want.
Oh yeah, turn off all the dead-looking trees. That was the other thing. Off or delete.
Winter trees.
Winter trees. Yeah. So I'll go through and get rid of all the ones that are seen. All right, and then got some just shots around town of different places. Yeah, and then especially like one like this where you see a lot of the sky, I think it would be cool to have some stars showing through and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe we can do like a skybox that has that twilight look to it that we can use for some of the cameras.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think right now it's just the skybox is just a gradient, because I saw that in a lot of the cards, so I thought that'd be a good place to start. But we can definitely, make it much.
And we
much
do have
more
like space packs that have star fields for skyboxes, I think, so we could potentially use those or adapt them.
Actually, all right. I know I said we would be done, but but there's this cool lighting panel, which is what controls the skybox. So right now it's using a skybox material that's just like
we have star skybox.
But there's
Stars 10, or there's also one called Star Skybox next to it.
Yeah, that looks like what. So we could do something like that, and we can make it the fun like reds and purples too, if we wanted.
Oh, it got real dark.
It did get real dark. Because a lot of the light was coming from the
skybox. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then I haven't really done much with suns.
Oh yeah, we want to have the sun and shadow and stuff, because it is the sun exists. So even though we're on the far side of the moon. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that the skybox actually provided a lot of the lighting for the
Yeah, it does.
for the scene.
But we can. I mean, there's also directional lights too.
Yeah.
So if we.
That's a whole other stream, lighting the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. We can do an entire stream about lighting and modifying skyboxes and stuff. So. But yeah, like there's besides whatever light is coming from the skybox, there are directional lights in here that are.
Yeah, and then some of the things have emission, right? You can see they're glowing. They've got
Yeah. I mean, you can see that there's glowing bits on the buildings, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I think before I talk another 2 hours about lighting in the scene, I'll say it's good for today. And I guess I should check. Let's take a look at how the Kickstarter is doing, if it's still where it was at.
Number went up.
Number went up. One more backer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting real close to funding, I think.
Yeah, I'll paste the link in the chat again. And yeah, hopefully you can back it. We're going to be promoting it at Gen Con a little bit with our CEO. Jeremy is going to be around there. So if you're at Gen Con, look out for them. And visit Green Ronin, where I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you about Sentinels of Earth Prime. And you can play it on the tabletop, hopefully, there. I'm not sure if they're demoing it, but that would be cool. Yeah, that's looking good. That's definitely, if we went back to the first frame of the video today, there's some changes and improvements, so that's great.
Yeah, I can actually show you a capture.
Oh yeah.
So I've been doing rounds of captures, and oops, that is not the right one. Yes, it is. Farside City. So it actually looked like this at the beginning of the stream, and now it looks like this.
Yeah,
so.
It definitely looks like it's more there. Like before, it sort of was floating in the middle. It didn't feel like it was like yeah.
Like it was there, but now it's really there. So.
Yeah, it has a more of a foundation to it. I like it.
Oh, I think this is a good direction for it. And
the city is growing, as Hank Wright says. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Jennifer. This has been great, and we'll make sure to get some more dev streams for you, including next week. We're going to be doing some dev streams around music as well as programming, and it should be a lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in, and check out the Kickstarter project. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Sentinels of Earth Prime is an all-new standalone game set in the world of the critically acclaimed Mutants and Masterminds role-playing game, and built on the rules of Sentinels of the Multiverse. Play as heroes of the Freedom League, fighting back against an array of dastardly foes from Earth Prime and beyond. Featuring 10 outstanding heroes, 4 insidious villains, and 4 immersive environments. Local co-op and online multiplayer, an all-new interactive tutorial, an original soundtrack by the multiverse maestro, Jean-Marc Giffen, and finally, cross-compatibility with all currently existing Sentinels of the Multiverse content. Handelabra Games is a well-oiled machine, and we've boosted our engine with additional